Guys, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to look into something quite interesting. Guys, do you remember on Friday? Yes, it was on Friday. You remember that on Friday we discovered through the Senzomiwa case that there is a section. Okay, we already knew about that because that's why they were doing arguments. So they were doing arguments regarding the section 205 of who's this guy? What Mabungu Ntuli. Yes, Mabungu Ntuli. Now, Mabungu Ntuli is section 205. Now, we are understanding that we thought they were still going to request for it, but now the understanding is it has always been available with that one of IQ's number 5. And please hear me out. So that one of IQ's number 3, hear me out. Now, my understanding of these things that are being said in that courtroom, you will fix me if I'm making mistakes, is that who accused number 3 got arrested for the Alexander case. And when he was arrested for the Alexander case, I suppose Umabungu was what? He accomplished or something. I don't know because Mabungu, he doesn't have a co-accused that, or does he? Okay, fine. He was arrested alone, not with Mapungu. Now, because I'm trying to understand why was Mapungu's section 205 requested, because now no one has read that transcript for us to understand. But I suppose maybe they were together or something. I don't know. And maybe they were seen together during the time of the incident or somewhere in between those times of the incident. Let's say the incident happened between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Then somewhere along those times, they were seen together. Now and then, that's when the request for both their section 205 was done. Now, this is what is happening. Now, they want to use that section 205 that was sitting on that Alexander Cleveland case for Uma Bungu Ntulu. And they never called anyone that dealt with that section 205 of Umabungu to come and speak about it. That's problem number one, that Uram Sipile, through his arguments, like stated and showed with that Muhapi case, that there was someone that was supposed to be called who dealt with that extensively and who understands that situation of those section 205. Now, Ubaloyi, he's offering an affidavit from the guy that dealt with those section 205 instead of calling the guy. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Now let's move from that part. Then the other issue is that now we are discovering from all of that, Uguti, actually, no one has this section 205. No one was given this section 205, except for one thing that I would call it was a mistake, because the person that needed to have that section 205 the most is IQ's number 3's lawyer. And IQ's number 3's lawyer doesn't have any of that. And now IQ's number 4's lawyer does have pages 1 to 7. He doesn't have, then he has from page 8 to what? To something. But it's not a full disclosure of it all. For me, as Uma Tigela, I say that was a mistake for those pages to be in that disclosure file for Uman. It was a mistake. It was not meant to be there. He got it by God's grace. That's what I can say. This one made a mistake when they put it there. It was never meant to be there to begin with. Now, my shock comes with Judge Rata allows these people to argue for this not to be used, yet they don't have it with them. Sorry. Do you see why I always say, if he was a proper judge, he was supposed to be asking relevant questions. Do you have this? We should have known that these guys do not have this prior the arguments. Prior the arguments, that was supposed to be found out. They were never meant to go and do arguments. Bengenayo le information. Why are they arguing on it, but they don't have it? So now, what's going to happen if Judge Rata accepts that Ubaloyi can use it? Now he must accept, give them time to go and consult and then go and prepare. Oh my God. No, listen, the case Lena is something else, guys. The Senzo case is something else, I tell you. Oh, I tell you, it is something else. All the time, you get shocked all the damn time. Okay, as if that is not enough, the other issue that I'm getting to understand, hang on. The state has all these documents there, but the defense is asking for the story behind these documents. The defense is essentially saying, you have given us, you are supposed, in fact, it's Numalo that has these so-called cell phone documents. But also for him, he doesn't have everything because Umalo is asking for the affidavit that caused those records to be requested. And his cell phone records does not magically appear, most right? There should be investigation, request, section 205 process, service provider, response, records, disclosure to defense. All of that did not happen. And Judge Rata is not interested in that. How? How is he not interested in all of that? Because this is chain of evidence. Now, if one part of that chain is missing from the defense's disclosure, the defense has every reason to ask, where did this come from? And the 6 pages that Umalo has is not the same as the affidavit. There is something going on there that is not right, and Richard Rota is not doing anything about it. Now, Omnis gets up to say, I actually got a Section 205 from Mube alone, and this was called an early Christmas by Ubalo when he was giving us. Me, as the representative of IQ's legal representative of IQ's number 3, I don't have any of these documents these people are referring to. Anything. I don't have that. And now we are hearing that it's coming from the Cleveland Alexander case. Yet, I don't have any of that, me. I'm the one that is supposed to have all of that. I don't have it. That is Mrs. Shock there. Now, there is also another thing that I want to touch on is that Ujaji goes on to ask, do you have partial disclosures? Why is it partial disclosures, guys? What is that? What is a partial disclosure now? After the state has closed its case and we are on a third accused person, now we're talking about partial disclosures. Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing that is supposed to happen now, guys? No, man. And now Uram Sipile gets up now because Uram Sipile is like, that is not how it's supposed to be. Now, responder kanje, no, let's not call it the partial disclosure. Put the entire situation into context. And that is very important what Uram Sipile did there. Because partial disclosure can make it sound like the defense received most of it and is complaining about a missing page. But that is not necessarily what they are saying. They are saying we received, in fact, one person received a product of investigation, but not the underlying material necessarily to understand how that product was obtained. That is much more of a complaint from the defense. Now, the affidavit is the elephant in the room. The affidavit apparently exists. That was another shocker, guys, that there is an affidavit. The defense does not have it, and there is an investigation officer for that Cleveland Alexander case that did it, and it supports the Section 205 request for that case, and that one was available. Did he say the 5th of August 2015? So why was the defense not given? If it was available on 5th of August 2015, why was it not given to the defense? Now, state now the state has a problem here, a problem of its own creation. They need to be clear about a lot of things. Guys, The Senzo Obeyiwa case is such a bore sometimes, okay? And it's such a conundrum, Kesan, because no wonder umnisesithi yena akazange wayibona into enjena. Those are the shocking things that I heard in that conversation. Judge Ratane, partial response, partial disclosure. Brand new Gesana on my site. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Wasn't you, Judge Rata, supposed to be shocked or supposed to sort this? Like this, these are types of housekeeping vibes, guys. And this judge is not your guys. Anyway, I want to hear from you. Let's talk in comment section. Thank you so much. Bye bye.